What's good, everyone? Welcome to the ASD Crawlers build of the year. You all know me, Big O, and you know my partner in crime,
BT. What's happening? Welcome to Project Costa Rica.
Absolutely. Also, aka known as Project Pura Vida.
Pura Vida.
Right? So, by this point in the video, you guys have actually seen some footage leading up to the build, what was built essentially, how it started, and how it ended. But here's a little backstory as to how exactly this rig got into our hands and why exactly we decided to build it. Back in February, when preparing for Crawl Masters 2019, we had some awesome visitors visit us from Costa Rica. Marco Sr. and Marco Jr. Rojas from Costa Rica. Team Crawler Costa Rica, to be exact. Great group of people in it for the hobby, passion, and they loved what we do and how we build rigs out here in California.
We got to spend a few days with these guys hanging out and enjoying some good rocks, some good terrain. And we got to see the pure heart and I guess the love and joy that these guys had for the hobby in general and for crawling. And, the weather wasn't so amazing during their visit, but they were out there pounding those rocks with us without any concerns or no quarrels whatsoever. So we got to see the love these guys had, and we wanted to put a little bit of love back into the hobby for them, right? And share the fun. And we realized at the end of their visit, right, that we all speak RC.
Right. And because of that bond that we had with them, they asked us if we would be willing to do over a brand new honcho that they actually just purchased and left here behind for us to do. So obviously we were on board, and we took the commission of that job and decided to do this one-off build that quite frankly we love, and it's going to be extremely hard for us to let go, to be honest with you guys.
This thing has been an amazing compilation of art and talent and skills from three main providers, I would say. Oscar Ramirez being the builder and the mechanic behind the scenes, who's slapped all these pieces together to make sure that it's absolutely trail proven and rock solid. We had Mr. Donnie Fleming of BentMetaL Customs, who put together the amazing backbone, I guess you would say, behind this beast. Right, look at that front bumper that fits just beautifully cut to that New Kaiser front end. You got these rock sliders that were handmade, and of course we couldn't leave it alone without that headache rack and that back bumper to match that nice look, that nice clean look. Right, the motto behind this build is less is more. Right, we wanted to be able to kind of keep it simple, but add a flair and make sure that it was unique at the same time. So there's not, I would say there's not a ton of modifications on this build, just enough to make it unique, as we mentioned.
I think the key ingredient in this build, like Brandon mentioned, less was more, but we quickly found that we kept finding more things we wanted to put on it. So, which leads us to the next contributor. Our awesome friends and family at Pushrod 3D made these one-off rock armor panels that you guys will see here. Each one is actually came with holes for 2 millimeters, and I did back them up with nuts on the back to make sure that they stay in place forever. We also did the rear panels as well. These bad boys make it so that you have to cut off these stock flares, pre-drill these holes in place, and then bolt them up to the body. This also made the Lexan body a lot firmer, and it gave it rigidity.
Absolutely reinforced the build 100%.
Exactly.
And I have to say, these things were printed beautifully, because this literally, I was admiring the work behind the scenes, and these lines match this New Kaiser just perfectly. So I have to applaud the guys over at Pushrod 3D for really digging in, making sure that everything's right for their products and everything is presentable.
Exactly. And one last thing that Pushrod did for us too, that I had requested, and I'm really happy I went with it, is had them print up a grill that obviously I went ahead and bolted in place, but just to give it a three-dimensional aspect to it, to kind of make it pop a little bit more.
Really set that front end off.
I also have a set of window nuts, and I opted not to use them because once I put them on the vehicle, it did not look proper, but I'm going to send them with them to the owner so that he can, if he just chooses to use them, he can. But that is essentially the aesthetics portion of it. Now, because of this build, we wanted to make sure that we chose the right paint combination, the right colors, and there was no better person, in my opinion, to hand that over than to my brother Brandon right here, because he nailed it. Tell him exactly what went through your mind when you did this bad boy.
Thank you, man. You know what? It was really convenient the way it all worked out because, you know, Osk had pretty much the basis of the truck built. He had it as a roller. We got that over to Donnie. Donnie was able to put his work on all that metal fabrication, right? And it really gave me an idea, and this truck kind of came to life. As we reached out to our buddies over at Pushrod, we had a better idea what we were doing with the fenders. So I really had a solid look. I wanted to be able to provide a sleek, clean look, right? And that gunmetal, there's nothing better in my opinion for that clean, sleek look other than that gunmetal look. So we used that as our primary. We went with the Tamiya paint, gunmetal as that primary. Before we could do that though, we had to hop on the computer and get our buddies over at BentMetaL, right? We had to get their decals cut in. We decided to use the logo for Team Crawler Costa Rica. What better way to represent than to have their own logo slapped right there on the hood, right? And as you can see, this is their new logo as of 2019. And then we also had a little ASD Crawler love right there on the side as well. Other than that, right, that's pretty much it for the paint. Remember we said less is more? The only other addition is this guy right here, because we wanted to be able to show that we've got that clean ruby look all the way through.
Right. So as you guys can tell, now you guys see the visual, how it came together. You guys saw the pictures of the work in process and so on. And, you know, all of those things really were the icing on the cake. But one thing that I did not want to leave out were the mechanics that went into it. A lot of people say, you know, if it's bolt-on, it's not custom. And, you know, I agree to that. Absolutely. This bad boy, the only thing custom on this thing, in our opinion, is the modificating of the panels. And just a collaboration of everyone together that makes it custom in our eyes. But
Absolutely.
It is essentially a lot of bolt-on parts that are available to you guys at your disposal. And it gives you guys a plethora of options for any of your builds.
We were able to, fortunately, we live very close to a local hobby shop, right? And we opt to support our local hobby shops as well as our hobby shops online, right? So it's a combination of parts that have been ordered from our local hobby shop, Delta RC, out here in Antioch, as well as I believe we ordered some of these parts from A-Main Hobbies as well.
Absolutely. Big shout out to A-Main Hobbies. Guys, I'm telling you, next day shipping, awesome.
And their customer service is beyond belief, right? And this is, we choose to shop at these locations, right? We're not sponsored by these guys, but we choose to shop at these locations purely because of their customer service, as well as their part availability and their passion to be able to provide for the crawler industry. So
that's going to bring us into the next tidbit, right? What better place to get all those parts in those amazing places that, again, offers you parts that are at your disposal. So what we went ahead and did is we went ahead and opted to get rid of the one-piece axles, the plastic housings that come with this honcho originally, because this did start as a honcho. And we went ahead and removed those bad boys. Empty, those bad boys weigh about 43 grams. We went with these extra speed alloy housings that weigh 153 grams. You're adding a little bit over 100 grams of weight down low that really helps low center of gravity. Added some lockouts, some hot racing hubs and knuckles, topped off with some incision links, as well as some, not really seen too often these days, but some old school CNC custom wheels that still carry the old beadlock rings. We were able to get those secondhand for a really good deal. It was a bargain for this build, which was awesome.
And some Proline Hyrax wrapping those CNCs.
Right, got them. Predator compound, guys. I'm telling you,
that's where it's at.
Awesome tires.
Yeah.
Last thing that we did on the mechanic side that really kind of changed the dynamics of the way it crawled absolutely was the shocks. Went ahead and big shout out to Proline Racing. They always offer the best in shocks, in my opinion, and especially in the crawler scene, have been amazing. So this whole package has come together, started as a honcho, and now is what you see here today. And we have a lot of pride in this build, as much as the owner's going to have. And we really hope that it gets enjoyed for years and years to come.
Absolutely. No, it's extremely humbling. I mean, I've never considered myself a builder or somebody with as much talent as a lot of these guys out there who do these very amazing builds. And to have, you know, these guys who you've just met and quickly become friends and crawler family with, ask you to you know, take care of a build for them. You know, it's a humbling request, and it's very nerve-wracking at the same time. We wanted to make sure that everything was very spot on, right. And things were perfect for Marco Senior.
Right. You got to remember, guys, in anything like this, measure 5 times, cut once.
That's right. That's right.
So guys, thank you so much for watching and viewing and keeping up with this build. I know a lot of you guys follow us on Facebook, Instagram. Please don't hesitate. ASD Crawlers _VP, ASD Crawlers _RC. Both those pages on Instagram filled with awesome content for you guys' enjoyment. Please check us out on our YouTube channel. Obviously, you're watching it on YouTube, but hit that like and subscribe button, hit that bell, get notifications of future builds. We have a couple more builds coming this year.
If you want to.
I mean, if you really want to, of course.
Shout out to my nephew, Oski, man. That's his closing line, right? So that's why we had to throw that in there. Shout out to Oski.
Much love to all you guys. Thank you for the support. Thank you, Pushrod 3D. Thank you, BentMetaL Customs.
Absolutely.
Thank you, A-Main Hobbies. Thank you, Proline. Thank you, Axial. I mean, all these brands, you know, none of these people gave anything away for free. It was all paid for. Nothing was sponsored on this build, just so everyone knows. But just know that there's a lot of passion to every detail put into this thing. And we really hope that the owner's going to enjoy it to the max. With that said, guys, man, keep it happy on the trails. Rubber side up.
That's right. We're signing out.